about personality traits or willpower or any of this psychological garbage. This is about system architecture. When I say asshole, I'm not talking about someone who's just dead. And spoiler, it's not about personality traits or willpower or any of this psychological garbage. This is about system architecture. When I say asshole, I'm not talking about someone who's just rude or difficult. I'm talking about the dark triad. Those who manipulate without hesitation, exploit without guilt, take without giving back. Those who see other people as resources to extract value from.
Cheers, Amy.
You know exactly who I mean because you've met them. They probably run your company, or maybe it's your ex. The asshole wins because they're perfectly optimized for the game we're all forced to play. They don't have the internal blocks that hold everyone else back. No shame shutting them down mid-manipulation. No guilt making them reconsider. No empathy creating friction in their decision-making process.
Morning. One we deserve, I think.
What I thought was a situation, an event of domestic violence on the part of my dad my whole life was actually contrived by my mom and her lawyer. That's right. My mom's lawyer advised her to get a bogus restraining order to set up a situation where my dad would be enraged, make claims of abuse to get a domestic violence charge so that she could get more money and custody. But this is bigger than my story. This is bigger than my mom, my dad. This is the playbook, part of the playbook that people talk about when they talk about how the stories are so similar. I'm glad that I'm able to put the pieces of my own life together, finally, so that I can know the truth. I deserve to know the truth of what I lived through. I deserve to know the truth so I can know who my dad is, who my mom is, and then make my own decisions about whether I think it's healthy for me to have relationships with them. That's what every child deserves.
Suicides are male. The vast majority of all deaths of despair are male. Another piece that really fits with what we're talking about today is a man is 4 times more likely than a woman to suicide. A divorced dad is 8 times more likely to suicide than a divorced mom.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Good morning. Police harassment, child abuse, governmental abuse of children, abuse within the education system, abuse by the sick children's hospitals. We've built a broken and sick society for broken and sick individuals. To the vast majority of people that might watch this, my name's Joe. I've been called a terrorist, a woman beater, a rapist, child abuser, stalker. Now there's lots more allegations that have gone along with this. And most of them hold some air of truth. Because I definitely have children with the woman that said I raped her. But I ain't ever raped her. And for any woman to say that I've beat her, you're a liar. The closest I've ever came to arguing or beating any woman has probably been my mother. And she knows how far she's willing to go. She knows how far she's willing to say. It's not for me to comment on this anymore. But the police policing. What are they policing? Well, certainly not policing criminals. Nah, I'd caught a man. He punched me square in the face. And then he said he would punch me square in the face again. Should I answer him back? Now, quite a few of you might think that's a good thing to do, punch me in the face. Now, as soon as he'd punched me in the face, I knew this man had no chance against me if I was to hurt him. So I didn't retaliate. I did say to the police, this man's punched me in the face, and here's a video of him punching me in the face, and here's a video of him telling me that he will punch me in the face again. Should I argue back? Now, they didn't arrest this man that punched me in the face. Young boy, young girl. Young boy was very polite. But he failed to understand law, and he failed to use the law. And he was willing to lie, the same as his female partner. Now, I'm not talking about the incident when they didn't arrest the man. Now, let me tell you, he said he was going to arrest the man. He said he was going to take this man away, and he said no matter what I said, he was going to be taking this man away, because I said there's no point just taking this man away, his mum's in the house. Because all of these men, like myself, have got old mothers, and they're pretty much looking after them. Now, my mum's different. She's got a lot of women round about her looking after her. I think they like more what she's got, because that seems to be the way. If they want my mum to talk nonsense about anyone with that frail head she's got after the vaccine's accepted, and that goes for the vast majority of you, you don't have any empathy or love or care, respect or anything left inside you. You have a lot of selfishness and hate and greed. And that's what these women are doing to my mother, I believe. There's not many feminists in the world that likes anything I speak about, because I speak about great women that help our society, and I speak about the feminists that abuse kids, always on the take. They tear down our society, rip apart families, and use false allegations. And then they're allowed to set up charities and be funded by the millions by predators who abuse people in your government. Now, back to the police. Now, having watched the video, the policeman said he was going to arrest this person. I noticed within 10 minutes he'd made a call through his department, and he had been told to stand down because it was me that was involved. He obviously didn't admit this, but that was what happened. So he came back again, and with allegations, not any evidence, no evidence. Might have pulled out a frail woman's mouth by feminists that are telling her they want her money, they want her things, and they'll do things for her because they love her so much. But if she tells these stories and exaggerates and lies, because that's what women are, especially the feminists, child abusing, exaggerating liars who break families and only care for themselves and no one else ever, not ever proven. And I'm not meaning mothers, and I'm not meaning fathers. There's very specific meaning to those words. So he came back with no evidence of any kind of assault, abuse or anything. Did you hit your mother? I must do, because I raped my ex-partner. I beat women up constantly, and that's what every women's aid or feminist charity would love to hear. But it doesn't hold a grain of truth, the fact that, well, it holds a grain of truth the fact that I've got children and I have a mother. It's just that both of these have been corrupted by the feminist movement willing to abuse children. And my ex-partner's a child abuser, court-documented child abuser, court-documented liar, who lied about being raped. And I know women that have been raped. They don't get any help from the government. Liars do, child abusers do. That's the point. What I'm saying is, if I did beat my mother, if I did rape my ex-partner, if I did really frighten women, I would be allowed to work. I'd be allowed to work jobs inside the police, in fact. I'd be allowed to work within our council buildings. Because you promote hate, violence and child abuse. You protect paedophiles, nonces and those who abuse women and slap women. You don't just protect them, you release them from prison early. 60% of women beaters, abusers, 90% of paedophiles released early by the Scottish Government. This is what these rats do. Now the little boy wearing his fancy outfit with his Tillito tartan, and Tillito, by the way, is just a paedophile policeman that went to South Africa and raped a wee girl, got her pregnant and came back here and became the chief police of Glasgow. Tillito tartan, black and white checkered Freemasonic, nonsensical, beastly people wear these type of outfits. But that's also the people that come round your door. And the man who did not arrest the man who punched me in the face having seen evidence, arrested me having seen no evidence. Now that is how you make sure you police with corruption. Yes, they police with corruption, they police with abuse, they police with lies. They don't hand out punishment in any way fairly. I'm happy to face any allegations from any of you paedophile protectors. I'm happy to face any allegation from any female that's been in my family. Now, I know every single one of them has turned their back because they've lied. And because they've been known to be barefaced, lying, child abusing rats, they turn their back on abused children. While the known abuser, the feminist child abusing rat and her mother, they continue the abuse. While the father, an insurance salesman, a Polish insurance salesman, a Jesuit-trained Polish insurance salesman. Now what is it? The Catholic Church buy lots of insurance. What for? Sexual abuse. Who sells it? Insurance salesman. This entire family is disgusting. Anyone with close proximity to the Catholic rapist, child abuse and paedophile protectors, you have no future and you have no present. I will get to be with my children this year, whether you help or not. Police Scotland have showed that they're willing to help child abusing women and they're willing to imprison innocent men. It's nothing to do with, there's nothing to do with legality, nothing to do with law, there's nothing to do with doing the right thing. The police are liars. The police are liars. Police are liars who will break the law. Women are liars that abuse children. There's Big Bew. A friend of mine that was a bouncer in one of the nightclubs I used to work in. He's a big man. Big Al. Mr. Buchanan.
How you doing, alright?
No bad, mate. Excellent, man.
Oh, good.
I wouldn't talk to me right now, I'm on Facebook Live.
Get a bit of the sun.
I'm getting a bit of the sun, mate. Q&A, poll. I don't really know how to do any of this. A big, strong bouncer. Good guy. Gets stabbed in the eye by a little effeminate rat in Paisley. And that's the thing, men that use weapons aren't men, they're little effeminate rats. Big Bew used his fists when he fought. If you want to fight me, like for example, I'm not a professional fighter, I never have been, but there's a little rat called Prosecutor Krzysztof Rosinski, and he's a rat, and he's a lying rat, and he's a lying rat, and he's protecting a little bitch prosecutor rat called Prosecutor Catherine, and this little bitch prosecutor rat threw me in the prison as a terrorist. Now she's never going to get away with throwing me in prison as a terrorist, because that straight away makes her a terrorist. The little rat, Prosecutor Catherine, threw me in a prison cell because she was protecting her neighbours who abuse children, and they're all Catholic child abusers. Prosecutor Catherine from Gorzów-Wielkopolski. You've been protected by Prosecutor Krzysztof Rzyński, who called me every other allegation and decided to help you because I was going to come after you because you locked me in a prison cell in a dungeon for 48 hours. You took me off the street. You kidnapped me the same as she kidnapped my children. You wanted to put me through the exact same pain as my children suffer by the beast you protect. So Krzysztof Rzyński, I was talking about fighting and I'm not a fighter. I want to make sure we can fight for charity. We should get a charity fighting boxing match where the prosecutor, the big strong prosecutor that wants to hurt me and use all these false allegations and cases of fraud against me, we should be in some boxing ring or fighting ring and fight, because none of us are fighters. I'm not a fighter, I've never been a fighter. You're obviously not a fighter. You're a child abusing little feminist protecting child abusing rat. And if we both decide, you know what, we can just sort this like men, let's jump in at the thing and let's fight each other. Let's fight for it. Prosecutor Krzysztof Rzyński for Gorzów-Wielkopolski, that's a child abusing, rat protecting parasite. Huh? But that's the thing, you protect these child abusing Catholic cult parasites, don't you? I'm going to become that for my son and daughter. And I know you're going to be trying every single thing in about to cause me trouble. The police aren't going to cause me trouble over here anymore. They know themselves. So, I mean, that young guy was a gentleman. I felt so bad for him. The wee girl sitting beside us, she should have by now left the police, or she should have put in a notice. Because there's not a chance in this world that someone that's not a criminal, if I was a criminal and she done what she done at my house, if she'd done that with a real criminal, the real criminal would have killed her. You can't go sticking your jailboot thug pig ratty feet inside someone's door and then threaten them when you've got no evidence to do so, and previously the evidence you've used would have been to arrest the man that assaulted him. But you ignored that. So you're not serving justice, you're showing yourselves to be liars, cheaters and abusers. And you're certainly not in any way legitimate with your actions, and you know that. I'll fight you, duck, dude. I know there's a lot of little... Are you a trained fighter? Are you a trained fighter? You're probably like the wee guy that attacked my mate and have to use blades and knives and things to protect him, because right now, you don't even show your face. You're coming out saying you'll fight me, dude, but you don't show your face, you don't give your name, you don't give your details, and you're the cowardly little rat that uses blades, knives, guns and things like that. I'm offering something very straight with a man that dragged me off the street, committed fraud against me and tried to make sure that I never get to see my kids. I'm offering that man a straight-laced, man-to-man fight when none of us I know have never done it. You, on the other hand, you have no face, you show no sign of who you are and you make threats. That's the sign of a coward, the sign of a beastly coward. And you're a child abuser to boot as well, because anyone coming in here and talking down a father that protects children obviously has no protection for children. You wee beast. Now, if you show your face, you show your big manly face, give me your real details and show the rest of the people on here, you wee paedophile protecting rat. Show them who you are, show them your identity, and then come down. I'm pretty much sitting out in the public. Come out in the public domain and come and get me. You wee rat. Big Bew just walked past here as I bounced at some of the biggest nightclubs. If he wanted to beat me, I'm sure he could. But like any big guy, he'll know that I'll get my own back. He'll know that I won't stop, because you abused children, you abducted my children, you took my children from Scotland to Poland, and you make false allegations against a father to stop him seeing his children. Now you're threatening to fight him constantly. No, I want to beat up Krzysztof Rzyński, the prosecutor that committed fraud in the court to try and put me in prison. This is the ugly wee parasite. I know he's run about the same age as me. Like some of these the judges and stuff like that in the Polish courts are nothing short of Nazi child abusers. Now, I can say that with a straight face simply because I know it to be true and I know they're protecting a court-documented child abductor who abuses their own. That's who Gorzów-Wielkopolski protects, child abusing liars. Now, if you know about the Teleto, which I've just told you about, you know at this wee English man who came to be the Chief Inspector of Scotland. He was a wee child abusing rat as well. So I guess that's why the police protect child abusing rats and try and take out fathers. There's not a decent one amongst you. You need to get your fancy dress costumes, get it off, get the tiller-toe tartan, get it to boot, because it just shows you are the foot army for paedophiles in this country, raping kids in other countries, beating your wives in this country. Stripper stranglers, a lot of you. You don't want decent men, you don't want good men, you don't want fathers, because you want to control children. Look at the beastly people you look up to in Hollywood. Brad Pitt, one of the biggest men in Hollywood. Little beast who was brought up by a satanic cult. Every one of these mad people are crazy. Who was the Joker? Jack Nicholson? Was he even born a man? You know, he found out that his mother was his sister when he was 37, but he didn't find out his mother was his sister. He found out his dad was raping his family. He found out his dad was ancestral child abuse, which happens in Scotland and it's happening in Australia. And for some reason, we don't let people protect children that are being abused by their own. Like my children are being abused by their own mother, their own badger. That's granny. Child abusers, court documented. I've followed all your routes. I went through the Edinburgh court to have her passport taken from her, and the Police Scotland assisted in the child abduction with the child abuser. Police Scotland assisted in child abuse. Police Scotland assisted in the abduction by a man that won the court case in Edinburgh High Court. That doesn't surprise me, because when I won the child abduction court case, Krzysztof Brzezinski and prosecutor Catherine attacked me and took me off the street and threw me in a prison cell. That's why I want to go after these rats. That's why I know that you people not showing your real identity, coming having a go at me, always making sure you don't show your face. These are paedophiles, or your paedophile protectors. You're just little rats in the little rat system. I'm not afraid of you, not one bit. Believe me, much bigger guys will put their head down because they'll know that they're men, they'll know I'm one as well, and I won't ever back down to you, any bully. And the vast majority of men that are fathers, they're gentlemen. It's so difficult to find a decent woman. It's so difficult to find one mother that's left. It's difficult. It's difficult. Women are so selfish. They're the only people I've seen willing to use and abuse their children to gain. You've got no idea what gaining anything in your life means. These Polish child abusing rats, you've got no idea what it's like to gain anything in your life if you're abusing children. Oh yeah, like and subscribe. Go on, like the channel. 10 people are watching this. 10 lovely individuals. Oh no, I've just lost some. I couldn't care less about figures. I couldn't care less about the money. I don't take money from paedophile groups like YouTube. I don't take money from any of these little cults that abuse kids. I'm trying to let you know right now, we're sponsoring women who abuse children to abduct them and take them away. Police Scotland is assisting in the abduction. You know? Now, when they don't serve justice correctly, they make themselves look like a gang of fools who protect paedophiles. I think that young girl seen that she was part of that gang that protected paedophiles and did not serve justice in any way properly. No way was it served properly, or else the wee guy that punched me in the face would have been arrested, taken into custody, and would have been treated in a similar manner to me. But instead, I was shouted at constantly, and I'm not going to shut my mouth when a group of paedophile protectors are holding me, believe me. And they know that, and I know that, and they know that very well now. The thing is, it doesn't stop them from acting unlawfully. It doesn't stop them from abusing children. It doesn't stop my Polish partner from being protected and abusing children. The very same way that everybody pushed in society are child abusing rats. They've came from a satanic cult. Everyone you see in Hollywood, every one of your famous singers, and all of these people, there's something so dark and satanic about them. That's where they are. You only get a good life if you're a beast. If you've got things right now, it's because you've been a bit of a beast. I used to go on about money. I used to go on about stuff, houses, the things that I had and owned, and how often I get money and the amount of money that I got. Because that's what I cared about. I cared about things that have no legitimacy, no reason to be cared about. Now I care about things that have a purpose in life. If you get blood flowing through your veins, even if you're the lowest of the low, I love and care about you, and I want you to change. I want you to be decent to children. I want you to start to be decent to people in your community. I want you to start helping out. I don't want you to show yourself to be a child abuser, a liar, a thief. I don't want you to say you're willing to be a family wrecker or a liar. Or as a mother, you're willing to hurt your own children and lie about them and beast them just because other beastly women will help you. Because beastly women are supported. Beastly men are supported. But not one father's supported, not ever. Not one parent, not one mother would be supported unless she became violent and abusive. This has been proven many times over. Now, if you want to show your face in the comments, show your real identity, give me your real name, because right now you're real paedophile protectors, or even worse than that. But I tell you what you're not. You're not men. You're not women. You're not mother. You're not father. You are rat. You're probably below rat. And I'll sit and wait for you. You're the one giving out these threats to a father and man that wants to do the right thing in his community, with the children in his community. I don't want to see children beaten, abused, raped, abducted, kidnapped. That's exactly what you support. That's exactly who our government support. The Scottish Government is a paedophile gang supporting child abusers. Police Scotland show themselves to be corrupt and only there for the Tillitoe paedophile gang. Maddie from the Anti-Alienation Project, she's been attacked as a little girl who was abused by a woman because she lets you know as a little girl she was abused by her mother. How you doing, my friend? Because she lets you know as a little girl she was abused by her mother, you turn against her and take her to court? What? Does that not show you the American system is just black and blue? Oh, sorry, black and white. Checkerboard, Tillitoe, you know? Child abusing liars. That's the American continent, it's full of child abusing liars. Why do I know that? Because Scotland filled it up. Why do I know Canada is full of child abusing liars? Scotland filled it. Australia, Scotland filled it. New Zealand, Scotland filled it. South Africa, Scotland sent Tillitoe there and raped children. 13-year-old impregnated them. That's who you give called a living memorial to a paedophile using his tartan. You give him a living memorial. Because I believe you'll believe it's like Sir Henry Peel that's head of the place and he was the man. No, it's paedophiles. It's paedophiles, the real top gang man. And I'm sure you're wee crappy policemen. You're wee crappy policemen who will pinch and hurt you and assault and abuse you. You know that way when they're holding you and they're nipping under your arm and squeezing you tight so they can cause bruising? That's who the police are. And they only do that to those that protect children because they're child abusing, paedophile protecting, family wrecking, hateful lowlives. I know my point is getting across. I know there's fewer and fewer people watching and tuning in, but that doesn't make a difference to a man like myself. I don't want pennies from pedos. Every father will be coming after you. If there's any mothers left, they're going to down knitting needles and down tools and come after you as well. Because good mothers aren't out working in council buildings. They're not working. They're with their children being mothers. That's what good mothers are doing. You believe you can go out and work for 8 hours a day and then go back home and be a good mother for 8 hours a day and then get your 8 hours sleep? How many years are you really in that job? I know you're not working for even 2 hours a day, but the little paedophiles keeping you in offices that want you away from your children so they don't have parents there, they'll keep you in 12 hours. They'll give you 2 hours work and keep you in for 12 hours. Good men have nowhere to turn because good men protect children. If you're a lying, wee, faceless, voiceless beast with opinions that you want to put on here, like the wee rats down below. Like, see these rats, look at them. Put on your face, go and put on your proper identity, put on your real name, let us know who you are. You've got 100 different wee profiles and you're not tuning in with all of them. Come on, give me lots of views, little paedophile protector. I can't read your unveiled threats. Want me to turn it up, give you a go? You must aid something, want if you... Man. You're using childlike language, so you're obviously you might be a copper. You've probably got a bag of doorknobs you're playing with right now to keep you entertained. Enjoy your bag of doorknobs, you utter paedophile protecting fool. Are you Teleto's lost generations, aye? Is that what you are? Scumbags. Ava and Matthew are my son and daughter, and if you have any children, if you have a son and daughter, and you're a father or a mother and you don't get to see them, and anyone's standing against you, they're not human. Look at the little rats in here. Yeah, of course I'm angry. Of course I'm angry. Of course I gesticulate and move about. Because I'm so upset that you little rats sit down when child abusers are running things. Even the people they're sending out, the little policeman, he knows he done the wrong thing and he shouldn't be doing this. Why are you doing this? Because you're protecting paedophiles. You're not doing what's right for anyone. But at least you get to see the beautiful sunshine in Scotland today. To those that are friendly to me out there, thank you for coming along and putting messages. I'm sorry I don't get to read much. This ain't Scotland because it ain't something. You'll see in the comments, or you'll see for yourself that the police have a gang and they don't operate out here in the streets, because if they do, they're normally parked across there waiting for me. It hurts someone's feelings, because once I hurt someone's feelings, they can generally hold their eye or hold their face or hold their body. Oh, I was hurt. Liars. Women are liars. Right now, I can tell when someone's a mother. There's kindness in their eyes. I spoke to a guy in Farm Foods. I knew he wasn't one of the beasts. Because there's beasts in every one of your councils, there's beasts in our police, there's beasts in our shops, every single one of them. And there's beasts on here hiding their face. Let's see, Alan from Glasgow. My grandson always being back the death penalty. Bring back the death penalty. It'll be here pretty soon, and they'll be using a guillotine to do that. They'll be using guillotines, and yeah, they'll be taking off fathers' heads like myself. It'll be me. I know Poland is with me. Thank you so much, man, Marish. That's so nice of you. I know Poland stands against these rats that abuse kids in Gorzów. I know Gorzów is just an old Nazi Lalo. I know it's just Landsberg, Germany, I understand, and I love the people that live there and have been friends with me there, and that's lots of people in Gorzów. I've got a vast amount of support in Gorzów, and the support my ex-partner gets directly from men that she's pleased in some way. Maybe she's working for them, maybe she's done a bit of hard work for them. But I know she's willing to cheat with absolutely anyone and abuse anyone because she abuses her own son and daughter. She wants to make sure they hate half of their genetic makeup and half of who they are. You know that my ex-partner, her mum and dad came to visit me in my flat in Edinburgh. Kasha moved into my flat in Edinburgh because she lived with a Scouser guy that... She always lived with men. She always with men that she had flirted with, always. She's done the very same to me. It's just that I moved her in and paid her bills for her. that's pretty much why I got longer with her. I moved her in and got to pay bills for her, but she had always this group of creepy men that she went to parties with. But anyway, her mum and dad came across when we went to go to these creepy parties with these paedophile men, photographers and all that. Who's a photographer? Who's a photographer at Hearts? Who does that? Paedophiles do that. Our paedophile protectors get to do that. You understand what I'm telling you? You don't get one of these wee jobs unless you're one of them. People that constantly leave where they grew up in, they done something very wrong here. That's why they had to leave. Now, her mum and dad brought me a dummy's guide to Polish, or a dummy's guide to the Polish, or learning Polish. And I used to love to put this on in my wee car, it was a CD player. It wasn't one of these something new, a CD-ROM. It was a CD. It was a CD. And I listened to the conversations, and Kasia was always in the car when I was learning my Polish. But always during this one part, she would go mad and take it out and throw it. And she would cry. Because one of the guys said, when you're learning a language, said, Kasia has a bad character. Kasia has a bad character. Katarzyna has a bad character. And she would go crazy that her name was mentioned, that she had a bad character. And she would only show these very real signs of narcissism, which I was willing to avoid, which I was willing to overlook, which I was willing to see past, because I'm an idiot, because a lot of this is my fault. Paying for this woman, I knew she was not good. When I seen these kind of things, when you see someone acting in these manner, you know it's not right. When you have a woman that will go and cheat on you, you just know it's not right, but you forgive her. I forgave her for calling me a rapist. I forgave her for saying that I was a liar when my dad had cancer. She said, you lied about your dad having cancer. I forgave her for so many things, but you can't forgive when they're continuously doing the same thing. The abuse continues. And that is the hardest thing. When I'm seeing faceless little child abusing liars on here listening to this crap that I speak, I know that you're aware that your entire government is run by paedophile protectors, it's run by cross-dressers, it's run by homosexual child abusers, and it's run by cross-dressing paedophiles. It's run by men that pretend to be good. And you know these men that pretend to be good, they've got families, there's children in those families, and they have, look at, you would look at an actor like David Tennant. He lived in Paisley just down the road, where Bew and I worked for this lovely big company that sold beer and alcohol and played loud music and stabbed people on a nightly basis. It was called Area, then it was called Utopia. That nightclub. But men don't have anywhere to turn unless they're rats. Men don't have anywhere to turn unless they become rats. If you're willing to be the one that says, my certificate means that I am as smart as my certificate says. Like, for example, look at every single psychiatrist or psychologist. Every single one. Their little certificate means more than anything they know because they're stupid. And if you know anything, you know psychiatrists and psychologists, they're the most in need of psychiatry and psychology because their broken minds have been there trying to do something that doesn't exist. They're trying to treat people by fixing the past. You can't fix the past, you crackpots. This is just a way for them to sell therapy to you. You want to look at the Adler approach and set goals. Now, I know that Poland and Scotland is stopping me from being able to set goals because I'm not allowed to work in the profession that I'm trained to work in. In fact, I'm not allowed to really work in any profession unless you're a criminal that's got a job, like working, sweeping up outside McDonald's. I'm allowed to do those jobs. My children haven't got to look at me for the last, 4 or 5 years. 4 years for my son, 5, nearly 6 years for my daughter. Now, there isn't anyone in Poland really standing up and talking about this often enough. We have movements in Poland, and all of these movements are controlled by the Catholic Church. They're controlled by Jesuit-trained monkeys. I'm talking, these are Talmudic in nature, the same as the child abusers here. The Catholic cult follow the Talmud. I'm not saying they're rabbinical in any way. Well, they may be as abusive as most rabbis that are into the Talmud, but they're abusing kids. 9-year-old boys are abusing babies. Babies are being abused by adults. That's why the adoption of this Talmud by all of these, this Catholic religion, this Catholic cult that controls every religion. You know, your spiritual, you know, your Hinduism and your Buddhism, they're raping kids. They're raping kids. The government, they're abusing and protecting paedophiles. They sell children. That is why we allow men on here not to have, we allow them to use derogatory, inflammatory comments constantly. We use them to label fathers as abusers, and they're all paedophiles. They're all paedophile protectors. They all rape and abuse their own children. I worry about the guy's mental health. I mean, this is the type of thing, the only thing that these people can write, because what they're not doing is showing their face, they're not giving their name, because I'm quite happy to sit in front of any of these mental health, because I've just told you about those that work in mental health. They have the worst mental health. And that's a proven fact. Psychologists and psychiatrists have the worst mental health. But you don't really need anything that's true, do you? Because you're child abusing paedophile protectors. And if, rather than protecting children, you want to talk against the principles that a good father has, I have the principles of a good father. Police are amazing people. Police are amazing people. Listen, that young guy and young girl were really great people, you're right. And the last guy I spoke to that was police, he had the same surname as myself, Day. You won't give your name because you're a coward, paedophile protector, and you hide your identity. Whereas me, yeah, these people were face to face with me. They're face to face with their real names, with their real identities. And yeah, the last guy and the young girl, they did break the law. They are hypocrites, that's true, but they are good people. Now you want to go on, what you're now is you're rehashing the same as the person above. You're worried about your state of mind. Now you're worried about my state of mind when I'm trying to provide the safety for children that they deserve. And what you're talking about, what is the British establishment? Is that something that protects children? Has that been proven in the past? Aye. Police Scotland. Now they abducted my children when I went through the court procedure, and I used all of the proper procedures that you have in place in this country. And after using the proper procedures and all of the right methodology to protect my children, Police Scotland assisted in the abduction and abuse of my children after the fact that I'd won the court case with the female judge that served in my favour. Now you can go away and you can belittle anyone at all you want, but that's because you don't have any means to give out your own name and your true identity. You hide behind false identity because you're a coward. You're paedophile protectors. You abuse kids and you're in this for you. I'm not in this for me. If I was in this for me, I'd be taking money off the paedophile YouTube gang. I'd be taking money off any of these dudes, and I would be making sure that I was a hard man and I was some kind of wee stabbing liar like most people in my town. The wee fake hard men. The wee fake hard men that get protected by the police. That's where they get protection. But it doesn't mean that they'll stay within the law, because the men with the fancy dress and the tiller-toe tartan don't stay within the law. So how are we supposed to have criminals stay within the law? No. You have fathers, not very many left. But I know the fathers are good, man. There's many others that call themselves fathers. They give other people ways and means of credit. And if you have a way to give other people credit, you do. You know what you are. Because I've just explained to you, intergenerational child abusing rats Started in Scotland, spread around the world, and these little rats in the comments talking about my mental health or what I'm saying or how they're worried about me, or they're cowards who abuse kids. They're cowards that don't put up their real faces, their real pictures, their real names, their real identity. So they know that their mental health is gubbed because their minds, their hearts and their souls have been sold on to others. So at this point I love you and leave you. I ask if there's a number of you on here that want to press the like button. Go on. Please press the like. Please press subscribe. I don't think anybody's liked or subscribed for a number of months. So if anybody does subscribe today, thanks very much. I'll send you a wee thank you card. But see if you come to Scotland and help me to see my children. If you give us a way to get to Poland so we can get to see my children, so I can get to see them because they're being abused by a Polish child abusing woman. This has been proven in court, and Police Scotland assisted in the child abuse. Thanks for listening. But you need to know that this was funded by a female charity. This was funded by a female charity called Women's Aid. Women's Aid assisted in the abuse of my children. They assisted in the abduction. They assisted in the abuse, and I was called a rapist by my ex-partner. It took 6 years in court before she admitted that was a lie. It wasn't just a lie. Women's Aid told her to use that false allegation to allow her to abduct my children, and Police Scotland assisted and took my children to the airport and flew them to Poland. We don't have any charity. This is a unified pain charity for men and fathers. I've not seen my daughter for 5 years. I've not seen my son in 3. I've proven in court and won the court case. I won the child abduction, Hague 1980. I won it in Poland. Poland protects the child abusing women. Scotland is protecting the child abusers, and I don't know what to do. I don't have a single place to turn. We've not funded that one man's charity. You know that 70% of suicides are fathers. 70%. Do you know, see if you look at it, man and women, 80% are men that don't get to see their kids killing themselves. This lady's nephew's going through the very same thing. She's showing support. I want to show this lady's nephew some love. I'm not going to show your face or any of that stuff, by the way. They get to see mine, but see on here, I get called all kinds of names by fake men faces, and they're calling me all kinds of names. They're saying I've lost my mind and everything else. I don't deserve to see my children. My children are safer with the abuser. That's sick, isn't it? It's sick. And they don't show their faces, they don't give their names, and it's cowardly men that work for Police Scotland and they work for our services. They come to my house and they abuse me. Talk about corruption. This government is more corrupt. This is exactly what I'm talking about, my dear. God bless you. Thank you very much for your time. And it just shows you that this lady knows that men in this town are given no help to see their children. Children are being abused by funded feminist charities, and the government assists in the abuse. The government is assisting in child abuse. What can father do? He comes to Tesco every day because he can't afford food. I cannot afford a home, and I sit in a house with no gas, no electricity, and it's frozen. And I used to be a father with a business earning lots of money. Now, in this society, men turn their back. Fathers turn and walk away. Women don't want to show their faces, but they will show support. I hope you end up showing support. I hope you get to see your children, and I hope you stop the abuse by these feminist charities. This one's called Women's Aid. They should not be funded, but we always fund women that abuse kids. I know lots of beautiful motherly women out there. I just hope that they can't buy you. Take care. Enjoy this beautiful sunshiny day. And I might get to speak to you one time again. Matthew, Ava, Daddy loves you so much. I'm sorry they allow this to continue. I'm sorry they do this.